everybody, and welcome back once again. It's episode 3 of the Brawl for All Pro Wrestling Show. I'm Jeff Jaros as always, and joining me this week is Jeff Crow right here with me. What's up, man?
What's going on?
We're
a little late. But
yeah, we're a little late. I was
going
gonna
to
say,
never.
yeah, better late than never. It's been about a week, but hopefully we'll get one up every Friday or by at least Friday or Saturday of the week. But we're trying to get something up before the week goes down. So, but I'm kind of glad we waited. So.
We got some better rumors now too.
Yeah, a lot of rumors this week, and I'm gonna go over kind of real quick on Raw because Raw wasn't nothing real exciting. I don't know. What'd you think of Raw overall? We watched it together. I didn't think it was too great.
No, it was mediocre at the best.
Mediocre at the best. I mean, I don't think we've seen a worse Raw than this for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we said that last week that it was bad, but this week was almost worse.
Yeah, it was, well, I thought it was one of the worst ones I've seen in a long time. So.
I do too, and I just could not imagine without Ambrose how boring it would be, like I told you.
Right, yeah, it's like Ambrose basically saved the show again.
Yeah, he did. If they did not have Ambrose around right now, it'd be the most boring wrestling show I've ever seen. I think I'd rather go back and watch 2000 WCW than this.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, too.
That's when it's getting really bad, because 2000 WCW, 2001, that was some of the worst in my opinion. But, man, almost more watchable than what they're doing now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. They're trying to write the show too late.
So did you see that the ratings were over 4 million for the first time though since August 18th?
Right.
They dropped in the third hour, but they beat last week, and they had the strongest show since the 8/25 show, which would have been August 25th.
It's probably due to Ambrose.
I would say something's picking up the viewing audience. It has to be people talking about this Ambrose guy. What's he doing on there? And people getting kind of interested in him. So that first segment on Raw, though, as we're going to go right into Raw since I talked about that, 4 million viewers. What'd you think of this opening segment where they had the Authority come out, do a little plug for the Susan G. Komen because they got the pink ropes now back again for the third year. I guess they're going to go pink for the Susan G. Komen.
Yeah, that's the way it's looking. I don't know how long it's ready the whole month. Or...
How about Triple H claiming that Seth Rollins is the owner of the contract and all that stuff, and then, they had Rollins come out kind of bitching about, how Heyman just are that, I don't know, Rollins needed to be dealt with, and then I forgot to say Heyman came out. So what'd you think about Heyman coming out?
I thought it was pretty interesting.
It kind of shocked me for a second. I wondered if Brock was going to be with them for a second.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I think he'll be there next week.
He basically talked about how Rollins, curb stomped Brock, and Brock was pissed and was going to come out and do something about it, or he was going to, pay him back for it, and then he had to apologize to Heyman and tell him, he doesn't understand why he did it, and he's, I don't know, you've seen the whole thing. It was kind of confusing, but I don't know if people hadn't...
I think it'll come out like he was claiming Authority or nothing new, but I think it will. And I think Brock will catch wind of that. Something will happen.
Yeah, because he claimed that Brock was going to deal with him, but then he said by the end that if Rollins ever did anything like that again, then he'll deal with it, and kind of Heyman just went on a separate way, right? Triple H got up in Heyman's face, tell him to leave. He enjoyed the conversation, is what he told him, and then he left. So that was, I don't know, it's kind of funny that he made him leave. So
Heyman just jumped out of the ring like he was scared.
Yeah. And then they had Ambrose pop up on the Titantron, kind of like old school Attitude Era type stuff when they used to actually pop people up on the screen just out of nowhere.
That was pretty cool.
Because they haven't done that in a while, if you really think about it much. Maybe they're trying to get back a little bit of that spark again. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like they are.
Yeah. I just think that Ambrose, tried to be all funny and taunting him with the briefcase and everything, and I just, man, he doesn't come off real, like if you're talking about Stone Cold and guys like that, they were funny, like legitimately. He kind of seems like he's trying to force his way to be funny.
Right. Like he's actually, he ain't got that humor part yet, or
No, it's like
I don't know if he will.
he's a great talker, but it's like, yeah, he doesn't. It's like uncomfortable when he's trying to be funny.
Right. So it's maybe just his personality, but I think they'll probably give him some pointers and stuff, and I'm sure he'll be fine here in the long run, though.
Yeah, I'd like to see Austin come back for one reason, just to kind of mentor some of these guys.
Yeah,
Because I'm sure he sees himself in Ambrose a little bit.
Yeah, and I think I've read where he probably will help him.
Have you seen anything on his thoughts on Dean Ambrose? Because I really haven't heard him. I've heard a lot of his podcasts and stuff, but he hasn't really talked about Ambrose on any of them since Ambrose's current change of character, so.
No, it briefly mentioned him on the 2K15, but he didn't say a whole lot. More because he was, behind him.
I mean, yeah, you got to admit though that they got a lot of Stone Cold going on with Ambrose's character.
Oh yeah.
So he has to see himself in there. So then they saw the Authority backstage after Rollins went running down the ramp trying to find Ambrose. Didn't Cena come out during this whole mess?
Right, yeah, he did. He's the usual Cena coming out and spewing the same stuff.
So what was, I don't even remember Cena's whole thing in this deal, but
it was mainly, Rollins screwed him. He should have beat Brock and all that.
Okay, because I don't know, I guess I wasn't paying too close of attention to Cena
I
during this whole time.
But I remember that.
But I see that Cena did come out during this whole experience, but it wasn't very, it was just about like, I don't know, you saw his interview that he did with Michael Cole where he claims like him and Ambrose are going to have to work together if they want to fight off the Authority and all that. So I think they were going in that direction of a storyline. It was all mumble-jumbled together like they were trying to make an explanation for what happened at Night of Champions.
Yeah.
A week late, like a week later. Why didn't they have Heyman come out last week?
That's what I was wondering. That was pretty strange.
Yeah, it's just a week too late on that whole deal, in my opinion. But they had to I guess they felt as if they didn't explain it or something, maybe. So, I don't know.
Yeah, unless there was a reason behind it.
Yeah, probably some kind of reason for it. Maybe we need to explain it or something. I would say so, that they needed to explain it.
Hopefully find out in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow night, hopefully. So, we see the Authority backstage, and they talked about getting the briefcase back, and they had the new Stooges, Joey Mercury and Jamie Noble, who I'm going to start calling, I'm calling them Briscoe and Patterson 2.0. But, they're...
The cruiserweights out.
No, that was actually later when he made the cruiserweight joke.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that whole cruiserweight comment was like one thing that Ambrose said that was actually funny in the whole night.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I just don't see, if they're going to get Stooges, why Mercury and Noble?
I have no idea. Maybe it's something for him to do instead of...
And I got to say, Joey Mercury looks like an alien with his head shaved bald.
Yeah, he grow a little bit of it back.
He looked way better with hair. I just will never forget Mercury getting hit in the face with that ladder.
Oh my!
I can't remember. I have the pay-per-view. Was it Armageddon 2006?
I can't remember exactly.
It was a SmackDown pay-per-view.
Him and Noble both got injured on the job, so I guess Vince feels obligated to keep him around.
Noble hasn't been around since Sheamus took him out that time, right?
Yeah, powerbombed him on outside.
They had him on the actual roster still.
Mm-hmm.
What were they, and I always thought, like, what were they going to do with Noble as a cruiserweight? Now they're going to throw him into the actual division after they got rid of the cruiserweight division. What can they really do with him? I always thought that was weird that they still had him on the roster.
I don't think he can actually wrestle, can he?
I don't think he can now, but I was just saying back then,
Oh,
I didn't understand why he was still on the roster after they got rid of the cruiserweight division and that, because you know he was going nowhere.
Oh, I know.
He's a little guy.
Hard, what, 5'5", 5'6"?
Not saying he wasn't a hell of a wrestler. He was a good wrestler.
Oh, yeah,
in that cruiserweight realm, though, I just didn't see he didn't fit in. Maybe he had a long contract or something that they had to, acknowledge. So they used him.
Yeah, they have to bring some more guys in for cruiserweight, which they could with some of the guys come from NXT.
I'd love to see a cruiserweight division come back.
Yeah, that'd be good, and give those guys something.
Yeah, it would. Because I think Mercury and Noble still could actually wrestle.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Noble, because I thought they said that was basically career-ending.
What, it was like a neck injury of some sort or something. I can't remember.
But Mercury, I don't know. I would think, unless his face is...
I know he'd had like a lot of drug problems and stuff in the past.
Yeah, so...
That hurt his career.
Keep him where he's at.
Right. So, anyway, Triple H told him to do whatever they needed to do because Ambrose was crazy and he wanted him to get the case back for him. So, a.k.a. Stooges, they're using him as. And that was even talks backstage of making him like the new Briscoe and Patterson for McMahon. The way they're doing it. Yeah, the new Patterson and Briscoe for like the way they had him with McMahon. That he's going to be the Stooges for the Authority now. These guys are. So, I don't know if you heard that rumor or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're kind of going back to...
Yeah, Noble. The one funny thing is Noble asking him if they could use sledgehammers, and he said no because it'd be dangerous for him, and told him to go do it however they have to. So why can't they use the sledgehammer? Like,
yeah.
If he's gonna tell him to go get it however you have to, don't use the sledgehammer though because it's too dangerous.
Go up and ask the guy.
Ignorant comment, in my opinion. So we get to the first actual match of the night. I don't know. That whole opening segment was confusing to me, kind of, but I guess it set up. It just kind of explained what happened at Night of Champions, in my opinion, which they didn't do the week before, especially having Heyman come out. So you think Brock will be there next week?
I'm thinking, but I don't know. I've heard he's not advertised for anything.
I heard that he's not advertised till after January.
Yeah, like Rumble or something.
Yeah, it's like they may not even have. Yeah, but I've heard rumors they may not even have another title match until the new year. Which I don't like that move. You got to throw him in there at least at Survivor Series.
Right.
I don't know when the last time the belt hadn't been on the line at Survivor Series, but I'm gonna have to look.
Hopefully they ain't seen it again. Maybe.
Oh man, who are
Rollins or something. Depends which way they go with it.
I didn't really look at it, but they had some rumors on opponents for him. I think Ambrose, maybe?
Oh, yeah. I think, because Reigns is, I don't know, he probably won't be good, ready by then.
No, I think Ambrose is one of the ones rumored for him. That kind of brings me to the next segment, because you had the first match, Intercontinental title on the line, Cesaro, Miz, and Ziggler. It was a pretty damn good overall match, good wrestling and stuff involved in it. I think,
good wrestlers.
Yeah, I think Cesaro came out shining the most in the match, though.
I know. Well, it seems like every match. I mean, him and Sheamus had some good matches.
Yeah, Ziggler ended up super kicking him for the win and retaining the title, though. So they had Cesaro job out over Miz, which I don't understand. That I don't like the Miz at all. So, like we've already talked. So, I would have liked to seen Cesaro come out with the IC title. I really thought at the beginning that he might win the title.
Yeah, but I think they're playing pushing Dolph, and he's been there a little longer, so quite a bit longer. Different characters.
Don't you think it's kind of making Cesaro look bad by just having him go in and lose title match after title match?
Yeah, I don't know what. I mean, they make him look good, but then he loses it.
Why couldn't they just turn him into an All-American guy again and have him go after Rusev? That'd be a good feud.
Yeah, that would be a good feud.
I mean, they need to get him out of this whole Intercontinental title, U.S. title picture, in my opinion.
Right. And then that'd be good, especially if the Angle thing falls through. He'd be perfect put up against me.
Yeah, that would be perfect. Could you imagine Cesaro and Angle? That'd be a hell of a match.
Oh, yeah.
This match was kind of short too. I noted so, but it was pretty good. Had a double neck breaker spot in it that was really good. If you go back and look at the match.
Yeah, they had some good spots in there.
Yeah, they did. So the next match after that, because I have no more comments on that one. Going on to Rosa Mendez versus Layla, one of 3 horrible Divas matches in the night that we had to sit through.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. This was just a plug for the freaking Total Divas. I mean, Total Diva plug, total like channel flipper, go to the bathroom time, I guess. I don't know.
Football.
Got nothing really to say about that one, but Layla won the match. So they still got the Layla and Summer Rae little deal going on too. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's boring if you ask me.
Oh yeah, what do you think about the rumors of them confiscating all the CM Punk signs? And we even said it during the Raw itself that it sounded like they were muting the crowd out.
Yeah,
and I
pretty
guess
sure they did.
And I guess you read that there was chants all night. We read on the dirt sheet, but we didn't really hear chants all night of CM Punk. But we heard a lot of like nothing going on.
Yeah, as soon as they started, it seemed like they just stopped, and then the crowd looked like they were dead.
It was either a dead crowd, or they muted the crowd out.
But,
that's all I've got to say.
Reports, it sounded like they were rowdy all night and Punk chants all night. So.
And that's not what came across on TV at all.
Yeah, and then they had the little briefcase, and I think it was a briefcase incident where they switched them out. And I barely caught that.
Yeah, we did see some kind of little glitch happen where, or you noticed it, where they were going to the side of the ring, and then we seen the ring apron flip up, and then all of a sudden it cut to another shot.
It cut to Rollins, I think, or something, and then he had the briefcase sitting there.
Okay, wasn't this? Now that we're talking about it, I think this was the next segment.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so yeah, they had him come running down to the ring to get the briefcase, and then Ambrose, dared him to come get it, and then he ended up throwing it. Wasn't he throwing a bunch of shirts out and stuff to the crowd? And
yeah. Which I can see them having to switch the briefcase out because he hadn't been carrying it around like that.
Yeah, because who knows? I don't know what kind of mechanism they had in the briefcase, but they pulled some kind of deal. I haven't seen any reports, but obviously you've seen it. And then we tried to go back on the DVR, and you couldn't see it, so it was weird.
Yeah, they cut it quick or something.
Because what ended up happening is that Rollins said he could take the case without issue because it belonged to him. And then Ambrose went running to the crowd and watched, and as Rollins watched him leave. And then Rollins opened it, and a bunch of green mist, which looked like it came from Great Muta. Yeah, sprayed him in the face. Ambrose just laughed in the crowd and denied that he did it, as Rollins went crazy in the ring. So what'd you think of that? I mean, I didn't care for the green mist in the face was kind of ignorant.
No, that's getting...
This was the part where he also claimed that the watch out there sending the cruiserweights out to get him, so.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
But as I said,
throwing the shirts out was good, I thought.
Yeah, but like I said though, a lot of his comedy comes off really forced, like he's not a natural comedian or something. Like Austin, he'd make you laugh with the stuff he said, not even trying.
Right.
It seems like he's really trying to force it out there.
Yeah, and Austin would say just serious, and it would just be hilarious.
It's like not his personality or something to be real funny. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see if it changes, but it just didn't come off that great to me. It seemed like they're really going in that direction of trying to have him act like a Stone Cold type character, but it just didn't come off as funny to me. So.
I'll have to watch SmackDown. I haven't watched all of it yet.
And that pales in the comparison of anything they did. I mean, the green mist coming out of the bag, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Out of the briefcase, so. But, Ambrose is their guy, so, I mean, they got
how about the briefcase vibrating? That was
Oh, yeah, funny. This was the backstage segment that went on right after that. He came running back there claiming he could be blinded to Triple H, and Randy Orton and Kane were laughing at him. Rollins kind of yelled at him. Triple H asked where Ambrose is, and Kane said he's seen him in Cena's locker room. Triple H said that he should be told that Cena and Ambrose will team against Orton and Kane later on in the night. And then they heard that buzzing sound going on in the briefcase, and everybody started checking their phone. But the noise was coming from the briefcase. And I don't know, it seemed like a vibrator in my opinion, what they were hinting at. Because they had Rollins come up there and grab it and said it's an electric razor.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. That's not too PG to me, in my opinion. So.
No, I mean it takes somebody, older to.
It was like.
Figure out what they were.
Yeah.
Getting at.
It wasn't blatant, like
No.
that's what they meant, but obviously that's what they meant. I don't know what kind of deal. Why would Rollins even agree to do this?
Ambrose did mention earlier in that one segment he found some personal effects and he didn't know that he was that way or something.
Oh, man, I didn't remember that part.
Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, that's got to be kind of embarrassing for Rollins, in my opinion. I don't know.
I know.
Made him come off kind of, funny, in my opinion. Like he's a joke or what? I don't know.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, that was a good little part. Then they went on the next match was Mark Henry, Bo Dallas. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think? Bo actually beat Mark Henry this week, but then he come back on main event and just got demolished, right?
Yeah.
So just when I thought Bo Dallas might be catching a break, they go right back and bury him again.
But then he got demolished after the match.
After this match, he got demolished.
As well, remember? Henry came back in there and slammed him.
Oh yeah.
Ropes.
Yeah, 'cause he was he's all gloating and everything.
Yeah.
So he came in there and destroyed him. Yeah, I remember that.
The week before he destroyed him in the backstage.
Man, he's just been, I don't know, Bo's been getting buried, in my opinion. You seen that interview that he did, right, though? So, that Sam Roberts.
Right,
Was that
he kind
Sam?
of alluded to maybe a character change. He didn't say it out for sure, but
I think,
you never know what's going to come.
I don't think the Bo Leave gimmick's going to work for much longer. I don't think, I already think it's not working, so.
No, but he did mention they're selling a lot of low-leaf shirts.
It needs to.
Sam Roberts did.
Well, hey, and we got to plug Sam Roberts has good interviews on here, so check him out.
Orton one's good.
Orton, Bo Dallas, Bray Wyatt, a lot of them totally out of character.
Bully.
And that's what's cool about them is they're totally out of character, so any wrestling fan that likes to hear some inside stuff, they're pretty good.
Yep, definitely.
So, what'd you think of that whole deal with Henry and Bo Dallas then?
Yeah.
Trying to keep
Henry heel turn or what's going on with him?
Yeah.
Seemed like it didn't. Confusing.
Yeah, and then they got Mark Henry saying that's what he does for his
Yeah.
So it's like he gonna turn heel.
I think he's gonna, but I don't know if they're kind of testing or what. I'm really, like I said, it's kind of confusing the way they're doing it.
Yeah, everything's kind of confusing.
Yeah.
They didn't have him turn on the Big Show on Friday though.
No, he hasn't done that yet.
Nope. That'll be his ultimate heel move right there, turning on the Big Show, in my opinion.
Right.
So if you ain't got nothing else to say about that, then the next segment was Brie Bella, Eva Marie, and Cameron going at it
Oh my.
in a 1-on-2 match. Another Divas match that we had to suffer through.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about this match because Brie is pretty boring in my opinion.
Right. The only good match I think she had was against Stephanie.
Yeah, and Stephanie probably carried her through the entire match because she doesn't look like much of a wrestler.
Right.
So I don't see them pushing Brie and Nikki Bella as straight wrestlers too much anymore. And then they're hurt from being on that show too, so.
I think that's what they're trying to get some exposure for that.
That's all they're doing is Total Diva plugs in these matches. It's all girls from Total Divas, so I really have no interest in the Divas division at all.
Natalia, backstage.
Anyway, though, Brie Bella ended up beating, rolling up Eva Marie for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, after she whipped Cameron into her, so we got to see Brie Bella wrestle. Ooh, Wow.
Yeah, she gets the yes chance going.
Yeah, she did get the yes chance going. She does get some kind of crowd reaction, but I think they're kind of forced. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
She don't get as many yes chance as Daniel Bryan does for sure. You would think they'd be going crazy.
Yeah, I don't think she'd get much reaction at all if it wasn't for Daniel Bryan.
I don't either. She's just not that good.
No.
Not in ring. I guess she can talk all right, and they have good segments as they talk and everything like that. But in the ring, as far as that goes, yeah, neither of the Bellas are that great. I think Nikki actually has more talent than Brie in the ring.
Yeah, I do too.
I could see them doing something with Nikki before Brie.
Yeah, I've seen Nikki put on some MMA moves on bars.
What do you think of Brie mode? She's got a new song and everything.
It almost sounds like some kind of techno.
It's not working, the whole gimmick, in my opinion. So
No.
they're gonna have to put the Bellas back together because that's the only way they work, in my opinion.
Yeah, that'd be best if they do that.
Right. So moving on from that, we had another horrible segment. Slater Gator with Hornswoggle dressed up as an alligator versus Los Matadors with their little bull. Then we had Adam Rose and the Rosebuds and the Bunny coming to the ringside for commentary. So we had a gator, a bunny, and a bull. Since Doink the Clown era, have I never felt so ridiculous watching wrestling.
Yeah, I really don't have any comments on that because
I just don't think it was even funny.
No, it wasn't.
Some people actually thought it was funny, but I could do. I want to see wrestling in wrestling. I don't want to see three guys dressed in animal suits.
Oh, you go to a circus or something, watch.
Or we could watch cartoons on Saturday mornings, which they're even getting rid of. So I mean, so I heard they were getting rid of Saturday morning cartoons, like one of the last stations that carried them. I could not imagine that when I was a kid.
I know. Religiously watching that show.
Yeah. I could not imagine not having Saturday morning cartoons. So that's kind of like what's happening with wrestling too. It's just disappearing.
Yeah.
So we have, and that's the funny thing that I wanted to mention on this show. We might not seem too lively about this Raw or very interested, but I'm really interested and a real huge wrestling fan and always have been, and I know Jeff has too. And we're not trying to bury anything, but we're going to call a spade a spade. It is what it is. If it's terrible, how the hell are we going to get on here and be excited about what they're doing and not disrespect what they're doing? I'm not really trying to disrespect anybody, or I don't have any personal hatred towards anybody, but I mean...
it's still the WWE, so...
I mean, I have hope, and I always have been on the WWE side. Even during Monday Night Wars, I always wish they'd come out on top. So, I mean, I'm a fan.
I think it'll get better eventually.
I'm just saying right now...
You gotta go through
yeah. It's like a rebuilding process or something.
Yeah.
Because Cena cannot pull the weight anymore, in my opinion.
No.
So...
I think it's about Rand's course unless he does the heel turn.
Next segment was kind of interesting. They had the Rusev and Lana come out and, talk about Big Show. And then Show came out claiming they were twisting the facts and everything. He made the comment about the Big Lebowski about he was going to crush some white Russians. He charged to the ring, but Rusev ran off like a little coward. And I don't know why they had Rusev run off. Why wouldn't he just stand there and fight him off? Especially if it's over a country, But they had Show celebrate by tearing the Russian flag down off the rafters, which afterwards they had to go back and apologize for. WWE had to issue an apology to Russia for pulling down and disrespecting their flag on Raw on national television. Did you hear about that?
It's funny though. They put the apology out, but they showed it on SmackDown or on Main Event, and then on SmackDown they showed a replay of it.
So they didn't decide to edit it out of any of the shows.
No, so I think it was just
a kayfabe, like a work.
I think so.
Yep. So that's pretty much all I got to say about that segment. I don't like the Big Show Rusev feud. I'm really sick of Big Show. So.
Yeah, like you said, either Cesaro or hopefully Angle will come in.
I'm hoping Angle comes in and saves the day and gets us back boosted up and real interested about watching again.
He could still have some good matches with some of the guys in there now.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the best match overall was the one that Cesaro was in the whole night.
Yeah.
And if that's getting down to that, that's pretty bad. Because they aren't going to push Cesaro, in my opinion, anywhere.
No. Any match with Angle would be good for him.
And he could go out and have a good match any night with anybody, and they just won't push him. So
I know.
I can see Cesaro, though, going in a feud with Rusev.
Yeah.
And going... That'd be a good way for him to turn face. You could turn anybody face right now in that angle.
And Rusev's still undefeated, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. And just think of the list that Rusev's already went through, you know, that he's fought off. He's Biggie, Swagger, Henry. And it seems like every time he beats somebody, they have to go back to being whatever they were before. Like, that doesn't really help anybody out when they face Rusev. Swagger's right back down to where he was.
Yeah.
And I thought he was kind of getting... I thought he was really starting to get over with the fans. And
he was with Zeb.
Zeb was doing a great job. I don't know why they ever stopped it.
I do not know.
They cut the wheels off. Yeah, they cut the legs off of that one quick.
Yeah, I think they got too much other stuff they're trying to focus on.
Right, like kind of like this next match, AJ Lee and Alicia Fox. Are you serious? 3 Divas matches in one night. I complained last week how we had to sit through 2 terrible Diva segments. Then we had to come back and sit through 3. So.
Yeah, and like we're saying, they got to get Charlotte and Bailey.
Get some girls up there that can actually wrestle.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's getting bad.
Charlotte, AJ, and Paige would be.
AJ, Natalya, and Paige are the only ones that can wrestle.
Yeah, Natalya. Nothing like Trish Stratus and Lita.
No, those days were some of the best in my opinion.
Yeah, Lita was cool. Man.
Even Alundra Blaze could out wrestle these girls.
Oh yeah.
You remember her, a.k.a. Medusa, who dropped she ended up dropping the women's title at Nitro.
She
live
was actually pretty good.
in the trash. Yeah, but you know she's done now because she dropped that title in the trash, and they've never forgiven her for that. So.
Oh, I know.
And I don't think they ever will.
Probably not.
Although I think she has popped up on a documentary or 2.
Yeah, I've seen her.
But I'm sure Vince hates her guts just because she tried that. Anyway, it was a Bischoff idea, though, and she rolled with it is what I heard, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I might pull up the audio on that one next week because I got a funny one this week that I'm going to play at the end here. But AJ, Alicia Fox. So Alicia Fox ended up getting the win, though, because Paige came down and helped her. Distracted AJ, and she got rolled up by Alicia. So that was that. I don't know why they're dragging out Paige and AJ either. It's like they really don't have anything else for them to do, though. I mean, really.
They're going to bring...
They've got a feud.
Charlotte or Bailey and put them in the angle somehow. I don't know.
And wow, are they shrinking down the size of the Divas division by Vince implying that rule where no Diva can win the title? So what's the point of even getting them involved in the title picture?
Exactly.
So
other than trying to get,
what do we got? We got AJ, Alicia, and AJ are the only 3 that aren't on the show, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that's their problem. So we're seeing AJ Lee, and Paige feud for another couple months, I guess, until the show gets over.
Yeah, until they must bring one of them up quick.
Yeah, it's got to change soon. It's got to change.
Charlotte would help out big time.
Yeah, Charlotte would help a lot. Bailey would help a lot.
Yeah.
A couple other girls in there, they're pretty good. Sheamus, Damian Sandow. You don't even got... I mean, Brogue kick for the win. Sheamus wins this. I really don't have a comment on it. I think Sandow should be used a lot better than... Yeah, he should be used a lot better than Damian Mizdow.
They need to do something about his character.
He's got great, like, in-ring ability.
Yeah.
And he's a good talent, and he can talk on the mic and everything. I mean, I don't know what this guy has to do to try to get his character switched up, like I said last week.
Him and R-Truth are stuck like him.
I don't know. Mizdow, though, is not working for me. I mean, it's funny and all that, but I want to see him on break out on his own and a good character. He's a young guy. You don't need to be riding Mrs. Coattails, in my opinion. You don't need it.
I'm thinking maybe they maybe, let Miz kind of bring him up to, make a name and then have him.
Do they really think anybody's going to get a rub off being with the Miz?
That's what they probably think.
Maybe a heel rub and everybody will hate his guts, but that's it.
Yeah.
But he's definitely not going to get like an ability rub or like how to carry yourself or anything like that. Because what I've heard, Miz isn't very liked backstage.
Yeah,
I've heard he comes off a lot like he does on air, backstage, very arrogant. I don't know the guy personally, so I can't really say, but that's just what I've heard. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
That brings us to the main event match of Raw. Dean Ambrose and John Cena against Kane and Randy Orton. Randy Orton and Cena have been involved in the main event so many times now. I mean, this is actually the main event that I was claiming they should have had last week.
Right.
Would have made more sense than throwing Orton and Cena out there in a one-on-one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What'd you think? By the end of the show, the Authority stood tall, though, because didn't they end up coming down there? Kane hit him with a choke slam. An RKO was hit by Randy Orton, and a curb stomp by Ambrose on the briefcase.
Yeah.
And then Cena tried to make the save, but Orton RKO'd him. Kane followed him with the choke slam, and then Rollins curb stomped Cena's head on the briefcase, just like he did Ambrose. And then at the end, the show went off with the Authority celebrating. The overall match was not very good, but I think the ending was pretty decent. They kind of made Rollins look strong after that goofy segment with the electric vibrator.
Yeah, they needed to do that.
They had to come back with something like have him do something macho after that, in my opinion. So he ends up, but if you look at it, he had to wait for Kane and RKO or Randy Orton to do all the dirty work before he hit the curb stomp on either of them.
I know.
So he pretty much just doesn't do anything on his own. He just, he's like a vulture picking the scraps.
Right.
So I just don't ever see him taking the title.
No, I mean, not anytime soon. Anyway.
I had a little bit of an inkling that maybe Sandow could have won the World Heavyweight title with his when he lost it, but I have no hope in Rollins winning the title.
I know. I mean, especially if Lesnar's going to keep it. I mean, unless they're that high that somehow he's going to get it from Brock, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm just saying if Sandow didn't cash it in, I don't think he will.
No, something's probably going to happen where it gets taken away.
I'd love to see Ambrose end up facing him at Hell in a Cell if they keep to the plan that they're going to do with the winner goes on to face Cena.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him challenge him for the briefcase.
Yeah, and Cena and Ambrose would be good. That would help Ambrose.
Yeah, it would help him out.
A lot of people hate Cena still.
Yeah, it'd help him out extremely. I'd love to see Cena job to Ambrose.
Yeah. How about if Stone Cold come out and stun old John Cena and Ambrose win?
That'd be great to get Stone Cold back in the picture, and then they could set up Cena and him for Mania.
Yep.
And run with it for a while.
Have him have a clean win at Mania.
That'd be cool. But that is still the plan, right? And then the loser's supposed to take on Orton in the cell?
Yeah.
So, yeah, with Reigns being out, that looks like the direction they're going to try to go. I think tomorrow night they're going to actually announce what's going to be the plans for Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, and then Reigns is supposed to either be a satellite or on the show, possibly.
Yeah, I read that because he is currently in New York City doing a signing.
Right.
At, I can't remember the name of the Ring Fest or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing a signing, and so they think that it's because Raw's in Brooklyn that he's going to end up making an appearance, but they're saying it could be via satellite.
Yeah, so they said they'll either probably record it backstage.
We must also note that both of us also said that the biggest thing of the whole Raw was the Luke Harper promo.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
It
that was
looks
the
like
best
they
part.
are talking about breaking up the Wyatt family. What's your thoughts on this?
I don't know. I don't really think they should break them up. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe it's still, have them together, kind of affiliated with each other, but
that's what I say. He can still have a singles run and keep the Wyatt family together.
right.
Rowan
Have them
Rowan
out
can
there
go
during their
off.
matches or something.
Rowan can just be the muscle of the group.
Yeah.
I mean, he really don't even have to wrestle that much.
No.
So I don't see breaking up the Wyatt family as a good move. I think they're one of the bigger things going right now. But, it almost reminds me of when the Brood had a breakup. It was like they were one of the best things going, and then they all of a sudden turned the page and threw the Hardys in there and put Edge and Christian out of it, and it ruined it. I think if they try something like, getting rid of the Wyatt family, they'll never get it back again.
No, I think they should keep it going for a while.
Yeah, it just reminds me of
see
that,
how it
like,
goes.
maybe like that Brood thing. Like, they're just getting over too much for some people, and they just want to shut it down.
Yeah.
Maybe Wyatt's fumbled a couple times that we don't know of or something, that they tried to, give him the ball and he couldn't do it or something, because we did hear about the heat backstage, but I haven't seen it myself, but maybe they don't have as much confidence in Wyatt as they thought, or maybe they have more confidence than we thought and they want to break him out on his own.
Yeah.
But you have to have a Harper-Wyatt feud, in my opinion.
Harper, I think he's got some pretty good in-ring skill, and looks like he can actually talk too. So.
Yeah, I don't see no problem at all with keeping them together and and not breaking them up and still having Harper do a solo run.
Right. Maybe have another one or two people join him. That'd be
right.
Cool.
They plugged Austin and DDP podcast on the Raw I seen.
Yeah. Is it aired yet?
I don't think so, but I want to listen to that. But that also makes me think that Austin could be in the works of coming back. And we must say right now that he has been training for a comeback, is what he said himself.
Yep.
And
himself.
it seems like sooner than later we might be able to see Stone Cold one more match. I'm hoping maybe WrestleMania 31. I'm not going to speculate really until I hear more about it, but I'm hoping that that's the reason he's getting back in shape.
Definitely be cool.
Yeah. The Bunny's been made an official superstar.
Yeah.
Like I said, I haven't been so disgraced since Doink the Clown that they're throwing in the Bunny. It seems like the old early 90s stuff.
On that, though. I heard that, it's Sami Zayn right now that's playing the Bunny, but I heard when they unveil who it actually is, it's supposed to be Darren Young.
Okay. Darren Young. Why would they have the Bunny be Darren Young? He has been posting comeback videos.
Right. I don't know. I guess maybe they think he'll fit in with the Exotic Express.
Because he's gay?
I guess.
They think it's going to be funny that he's in the Bunny outfit? I don't know. I guess that's what they're thinking. No offense against gay people, but I'm thinking that's what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Did you see that the name for the new stable is going to reportedly be the Smart Athletic Friends, and when Kofi and Woods tag team, they're going to be the Speed Force?
Really?
Yeah. What do you think of that?
Wow.
And also they've been working babyface as of late too. When I hear Speed Force, it instantly makes me think of Tito Santana and Rick Martel, a.k.a. who? Strike Force. So they're going to be the Black Strike Force. But the Smart Athletic Friends is just terrible. Now I really hope that Henry and them don't join.
That's going to be terrible.
If they launch that on TV, that's just ridiculous.
Somebody with a bad idea.
Did you see that the WWE featured pics of the Dudleys and Hardys on Instagram? Called them both legendary tag teams. Yep.
And that interview with Sam Roberts, basically Bully was kind of talking WWF.
Oh, so I think Bully and I could see both Team 3D a.k.a. the Dudley Boys, and the Hardys making a comeback.
And Bully's in hell of a shape now.
Yeah, he is. He's in the best shape of his life.
Yeah.
So,
He said he'd like to come back and see how he'd go with the singles run like that.
I could see him doing the Dudley Boys before turning him single run, though.
Yeah.
If he's gonna get
Yeah,
another,
whatever
if he's gonna get another run, I think
I'm
that's
sure.
what they, I just think they'd want that if he's gonna get another run.
Yeah.
Fergal Devitt, a.k.a. Finn Balor, debuted at NXT on the tapings. It's going to be aired in October, is what I hear. So hopefully this month we'll get to see Finn Balor finally on NXT. What'd you think of Hideo Itami?
Come up soon.
Kind of made him look a little weak.
Yeah.
He's such a
I don't know
small
why
guy,
they're
but
gonna
like,
they're gonna bring him up. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I thought it made the Ascension look weak for him beating him down, and now I think it makes him look weak for the Ascension beating him down. Or him beating the Ascension down made the Ascension look weak. And now it's vice versa. So I don't like that whole feud. They really threw him in there with two big guys right off the bat.
I think they're planning on bringing them both up soon. So
Yeah.
maybe.
As we're on NXT, we got to mention that I know you like him and I like him. I think Baron Corbin's going to be a stud to be reckoned with.
Oh yeah.
I think they'll be.
I give him about another month or two. And
Yeah, he'll be up there. Isn't he like 6'8" or so, almost 7 foot?
Yeah, I think probably a little more muscle on him.
He's got the look, the athletic
Perfect for
ability.
Vince.
He's got the finishing move.
I
I haven't really heard any mic work from him, but
but
I have to say Baron Corbin, just his presence is awesome.
yeah.
I
and
look
that
forward to him being at the top of NXT or up on the main roster soon.
being a little more innovative and original than some people.
Right. Did you see the Taker interview that they had with him from what was it?
Comic-Con he was at.
Yeah, the Comic-Con he
I
was
haven't
at.
watched it yet. I gotta
Well,
see that.
I just seen some highlights from it, and he said he's certainly not ruling out wrestling at Mania 31.
Maybe him and Sting.
I get that's the rumor right now, but I'm just saying that he's not ruling out Mania 31, so let the rumors fly. Also, he said that he doesn't remember much about Mania 30 due to the head injury that he sustained, so that officially tells us that he was hurt during that whole match with Brock.
Yeah, and I want him to probably wrestle more than like one more match.
Yeah, that would be.
Deal.
That may be. He may want to redeem himself against Brock this year. You never know.
Yeah, that could be a possibility too.
Mania. His favorite Mania opponents, he said, were Triple H and HBK.
Wow.
Those were his favorite matches that he had. He said.
Not really surprising, but
No, not surprising to me. But man, out of all those matches he takes, I thought the Edge match that he had was good. The one he had with Batista was underrated.
yeah,
Really
it
underrated.
definitely was.
I think he's had a lot of good matches. Just to say HBK and Triple H were his best, though. So
Right, Punk was good.
yeah, I mean he's had a lot. So that's pretty good for Triple H and HBK to get that honor of being his favorite
yeah.
opponents, in my opinion. What else? I had some TNA news wrote down. Do you have anything to add that you had wrote down?
Not TNA, not too much. I mean,
Or just any other rumors besides that?
I heard they're having one more pay-per-view, Bound for Glory or whatever.
I heard that they're having the Bound for Glory, but the original plans on TNA were to have Team 3D face the Wolves, but now the Wolves got pulled, as I told you. So they were replaced by Tommy Dreamer and Abyss on the pay-per-view. It was supposed to be Abyss taking on that guy called Bram. But since Team 3D had to be there for the Hall of Fame anyway, it made sense just to use them in the match and pull Bram.
Yeah.
And then Samoa Joe, who was really hurt, he actually is wrestling hurt, but he's going to wrestle at Bound for Glory. He's going to face Low-Key like it was scheduled, but they've also threw Kaz Hayashi in there, making it a three-way to make up for Joe being injured.
Yeah.
So Kaz Hayashi making a return. You remember him, right? Young Dragons, right? Kaz Hayashi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he'll be taking them two on in a three-way.
Decent match.
MVP and EC3 both had different matches scheduled against Wrestle 1 talents. But they had to like extend the amount of TNA Wrestle 1 matches after rescheduling everything. So several of the Wrestle 1 talents from the Wrestle 1 Japanese promotion had to be pulled off and weren't even used because TNA doesn't want it to come off as a Wrestle 1 pay-per-view. They want it to come off as a TNA pay-per-view to not discourage the American buyers. So what do you think of them not using the Japanese talent really on the pay-per-view, even though they're working with Wrestle 1? Do you think it would have helped the buys, or do you think it would have hurt?
I kind of think it would help because people probably might want to, see.
Like a war between the two companies.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I was thinking that they should have done.
I don't know why they didn't. I don't know if it was financial issues or what did you say it was actually?
Just due to all those deals with people weren't under contract with TNA, so therefore they don't want to use them again.
Wonder, is MVP under contract? Or is it,
yeah, MVP's under. MVP's got a match, and EC3 have matches scheduled for against Wrestle 1 talents.
About Lashley.
Lashley is not on the card. He lost the belt, though, remember?
Right.
So they don't want him on the card.
For WWE.
He won't be on there just because the Japanese fans shit all over promotions that come in and do not acknowledge title moves. If you know what I mean, like they have a champion come in and wrestle and they're not advertised as a champion, they get really mad about that. So therefore they're trying to keep everything away from having to acknowledge the title changes because those title changes don't air till after the pay-per-view.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what they're trying to avoid is getting shit on by the Japanese. But I'm sure they got the internet just like we do, so.
Yeah. I think Lashley, the WWE would probably take him back.
I think they would too. I think Bobby Roode could get a shot. James Storm could get a shot.
If they form that stable with Kofi and Henry, it'd be awesome if they'd have Lashley come back as actual leader.
Oh, that'd be neat.
Yeah.
Lashley, though, he says he wants to stay where he's at because he can fight the MMA too. So,
right. It could be a ticket to the UFC for him too if he.
Did you also, if you want to call it a locker room, there's unrest within the TNA locker room because there is no work, because there's no tapings even scheduled till January.
Yeah, I did read that.
And they've allowed their talents to take bookings on the indies, but they can't be on any kind of pay-per-view or iPay-per-view or anything like that.
Televised.
Right. A lot of people have been reaching out to Global Force Wrestling, Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, I mean, I think that could be a good deal actually if you can get some good.
And they've also put everything on the back burner but Bound for Glory. I mean, let me rephrase that. Everything has been put on the back burner due to the new TV deal that they're trying to secure. I mean, Bound for Glory and everything else just doesn't even matter to TNA right now.
Yeah.
So, that's interesting.
Yep,
TNA, that's pretty much all I got to say about TNA.
Yeah.
I haven't heard any, Ring of Honor news lately. Rey Mysterio backstage at that Lucha Underground TV taping. I don't know what that's going to be airing on, but they said it could be a violation of WWE's policy for him to even be back.
About that,
yeah. And neither of them had any kind of communication lately at all, they said. So,
right.
And he wasn't even backstage in San Diego or anything at the live event they had, which is his build hometown. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen to Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you see Triple H is a huge fan of soliciting feedback from the internet and online communities, such as ourselves?
Of who?
Triple H.
Steen. Kevin Steen?
No, Triple H is he's big on soliciting feedback from the internet and online communities.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. He's actually having some of the social media workers keep an eye on various online communities. So let's hope he's listening to YouTube. So that's been a rumor going around. I don't think it's much of a rumor. I think it's real. Jake Roberts made an indie appearance. Did you see that? So he must be doing good. They said he looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Because I said, I think a couple episodes that I was kind of worried about Jake, but I'm glad he's doing better.
Yeah. I heard he looked pretty good, too.
Any notes that you have down that I haven't said? Oh, Jericho rumored to be returning in November, maybe. He's being advertised for the upcoming European tour.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Oh, and all you indie bookers out there, Ezekiel Jackson's taking independent bookings. Just a note.
Yeah, I've seen that. Ezekiel.
Mm-hmm. So anybody wants to use Zeke out there on the independent circuit, get on it. WWE still dealing with lawsuits by plaintiffs that claimed that during the negotiations of the new TV deal and the network that there was like some alleged conduct going on that wasn't right within the whole thing. I don't know if you've read about that, but they are working against a lawsuit right now. Yeah.
I did read something about that.
Mm-hmm. They didn't like their conduct. The alleged conduct during that time that they were negotiating the TV deal was what they're complaining about.
I wonder what that could have been.
So, I don't know what conduct it was.
Sure we'll hear eventually.
Yep. I think I have a few more other notes, too, that I had down.
I was going to say, too, I hope Bad News Barrett's getting back soon.
I do, too. He'd be a real breath of fresh air to see back in there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel Bryan topped the Pro Wrestling Illustrated PWI 500 as the #1 wrestler. From July 2013 to July 2014, they evaluated him. Hogan had to apologize for a racist dress code at one of his beach restaurants I seen. Yeah, I don't really know what the dress code kind of, what it was, but I know he had to come out and issue an apology because it was racist. So that's kind of funny. At least we know he's not backstage writing the show. We both agree with Jim Ross on his claim that using multiple finishers to win a match is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's...
Happens every year at WrestleMania.
Taken away from the finishing moves.
It's just taken away from the finishers, yeah. I mean, it's making them look weak when they finally... You have to hit a guy 5-6 times with the finisher to finally finish him off. That's not much of a finisher.
Yeah. No, I could see it. You know, it started out with the Undertaker, but I can see that. But then with everybody else, it don't make much sense.
Yeah. How about the Sting DVD error? They put the fake Sting, Jeff Farmar, on the back.
Oh, yeah, and I went to Walmart yesterday, and they were sold out of them already.
They're printing new copies, I guess, to correct the error in the future.
I might have to go to Walmart. Check it out. They got any there.
I did have another NXT note, though. Finn Balor and Tommy are on the fast track to be called up from NXT over like Sami Zayn, Neville, or any of those guys.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
that's a rumor I heard.
Neville, I don't know. Like I said, he's got some awesome moves. He's just small. If they get that cruiserweight division going.
They could have a hell of a cruiserweight division with Baylor and all them guys and Tommy. Some kind of junior heavyweight or something.
Yeah, maybe they will come back.
If they don't want to call it, if they don't want to, they don't want to label a guy a cruiserweight just in case. Maybe junior heavyweight, kind of like they do in Japan. Rusev possibly in line for a U.S. title match with Sheamus after the Big Show feud.
I heard that too.
WWE also paying only $100 a night instead of $250 a night to like local talent that they use, indie talent that play like the security guards or the Rosebuds. Say what?
That's what I heard.
Yeah, it's a budget cut, so they're paying them $100 a night instead of $250, which I don't see as much of a big deal.
No, I mean, you come in for a show there, and
they fired
you.
Did you see NXT fired Eugene as a trainer? Nick Dinsmore.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, they released him.
I didn't even know he was a trainer on there.
And then I wanted to just wait for the end here. If you don't have any other notes, I really don't have anything other than that. Other than the Angle interview that he said that in AlternativeNation.net an interview with him. I think that was what it was called. He said he'll sign for 1 year with whatever company that he signs with, and he'll try to have the best year that he can, and then he's retiring.
I think he'll come back feud with Rusev if he gets the U.S. title.
He said
he'll come in and win the U.S. title from him.
Did you also hear that he also said that he'd love to go into the Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame? He's recently reconciled with Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
And said he's put everything else that they've ever had behind him, and he says that Triple H is pretty much running the show in WWE too. So he was kind of surprised about that.
Yeah, and he definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he definitely does. But I just remember last week that we brought up Daniel Puder and him. Well,
yeah.
If anybody doesn't remember, we're just going to finish the show with this little clip of Angle talking about Daniel Puder. So,
All right. Oh, yeah. One more thing about this thing. I did just read, he just posted that the plans are for January for him to be back in the ring.
Sweet.
I seen an interview. It was, I think it was promoting the game, but he looked like he was in pretty good shape from what I could tell.
Yeah, I seen that. Do you think that's like photoshopped or something, or that's his actual physique on the front of that cover?
I seen the actual interview with him, though, and
he was cut up like that.
He looked like he's in pretty good shape.
Well, damn, he's really gotten into good shape then. And yeah, I seen some Reddit user. That's one of the notes I didn't mention, is that they seen some Reddit user that's supposedly a WWE insider and has some inside sources said that he'd be coming back late January. So now the rumors are flying that he's going to be back for the road to WrestleMania. So.
Well, they need him in there. Get him in there soon.
Okay. But yeah, let's listen to this thing that Angle's got to say on Puder, and then we'll close it out here. I don't know how good you're going to be able to hear this, but here we go.
Play her up.
And the whole thing was, it wasn't supposed to be an ultimate fighting contest. It was a wrestling match, but there was supposed to be submission. But he was a moron. He put his back on the mat, and it wasn't supposed to be a 1, 2, 3 count. It was only supposed to be a 1 count. So the referee did a 3 count. I think Puder might have kicked it 3. But the whole thing was, it was an amateur wrestling match. All he had to do was hit the mat once, and Puder was flat on his back. Right. So when the ref went down, he was pinned. And when he got up, we didn't exchange words. I said, you know what? You're a stupid son of a bitch. He said, why? I said, because you pinned yourself. I said, you had me in an arm bar. I said, this isn't an ultimate fighting competition. I said, this was a wrestling match. And he goes, well, you're allowed submission. I said, yeah, but you pinned yourself, you stupid bastard. I said, now get out of my ring. That's what I told him. Basically, he pinned himself.
So that's basically what he's got to say about old Daniel Puder and that whole deal where he tried to break his arm. So if anybody doesn't remember, go back and watch. They got the clip on there. Just put in Angle and Daniel Puder, and they got the clip on there of him trying to break his arm. And I just thought that was funny, and I had to play it since I mentioned it last week. I think next week I'm going to try to get maybe, what was her name, Alundra Blaze's view on the whole throwing the title in the trash, since I said that. So.
Yeah. Wait for that.
But this has been episode 3 of the Brawl for All Pro Wrestling Show. I'm Jeff Jaros, and I'm with Jeff Crow here, and we're going to be signing off. I'm going to say peace out, and we'll see you next time. Oh, yeah, and also rate, like, comment, subscribe. I seen we gained a couple subscribers, so we'd like to thank you, and tell your friends to listen if you like what you're hearing. So, Jeff, you got anything to say before we sign off?
No, that's about it. And maybe Triple H will listen to some social media and catch Brawl for All.
Yep, if you're listening to the Brawl for All show, man, we got a lot of ideas that we're going to be coming up with. I hope Raw picks up so we can be more excited next time.
Yeah, me too.
And we're going to hopefully get it on here before Sunday night next time. So
yeah, we will.
We apologize for getting it on here late. But I think we got everything in, man. So, like I said, I'm going to say peace out. I'm glad we got that Angle interview on there and stuff. So,
that was good.
Yeah, comment and rate and subscribe. And if you like us, subscribe and just let us know how you're doing. Ask us some questions, whatever. We like that. We could give you our feedback on anything. But other than that, we'll be back next week. And I'm Jeff Jaros saying peace out. Jeff?
Yep. Thanks to everybody that listens.